standing ovation for getting on a motorcycle, for God's sake. Come on.
It's a cool motorcycle. But hey, can I do something? Can I do something real quick?
Yes, you should.
Where's Mignus? My son Mignus is here. He's right here. But today is Mignus' birthday. So, can I sing happy birthday?
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mignus. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dude. Mingus is 13 today, is that not correct?
That's right.
Ladies, that means he's a man today. Seriously, don't attack him. So, what's going to happen with Daryl? I mean, what do you see? What do you see developing?
Well, I mean, I think he would do anything to help keep these people alive. But you know, he's been away from, you know, the enforcement of his big brother over there. So, I mean, they're both always looking for each other, and they love each other in this messed up way. But I think he's, you know, he feels value in these people relying on him, and I think this is his new family, and I think he'd do anything to keep them alive. And he's more sensitive and he's more aggressive at the same time.
Well, he's a survivor. I mean, like, even kind of growing up in what you assume is his family life in this kind of hostile redneck environment, which is goes without saying. But and then just adapting and sort of survival instincts. I mean, like, he's kind of the heart of the group in a way.
Well, I mean, I think Rick is sort of becoming the brother that he lost, you know, with Merle. And
Just so cute.
are you blushing? Are you blushing right now?
I'm embarrassed, yeah.
We have this thing. He and I look at each other sometimes, and I'll go, "Love you," and his response is, "Fuck you."
And then making out stars. I think everyone was I think the number one question we had in the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead, and certainly our first season of Talking Dead, is when is the show going to get there? Next episode, we announced that you, Danai Gurira, were the Michonne, and you kicked so much ass in this episode. What has the experience been like for you coming into this, like, established cast story show? How do you feel?
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you come out, you look at this. I mean, this is like totally the icing on the cake. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the sort of love and joy that, you know, stepping into the show brings. You know, it's just been, it's an amazing thing to step into. It's such an excellent product as is, you know, and so getting to be a part of it was really, it's kind of been a thrill ride for me. So yeah, I've been having a really, really great time. It's been an intense, brutal joy. So I'm having a blast.
I think next year you're going to see.
No, I'm not from Brooklyn. But I love it. If I move back to New York, that's where I'm moving to.
There you go. Sometimes people just shout out the city they're from for no reason.
Oh, really?
I don't know why Memphis! Like, but I think next year it's gonna freak you out because you're gonna start to see more and more Michonne cosplay, you know, because she's such a strong character, and she's another, like Daryl, like, just such a survivor. You know, what do you think her path was by the time we see her in the show?
I think she's been through some stuff where, you know, it's really kind of that, I think the moment that people go through when they're actually become survivors, right? I think of Michonne as a bit of a thriver, you know, getting from pre-apocalyptic world to post-apocalyptic world. Whatever happens there is something where it's like you do or you die. And I think her choice to do, it was like very intense, powerful choice that, you know, allowed her to kind of recreate herself into a formidable force in this realm, you know, and one that just is not going down without a fight and is going to figure out how to actually make the realm work in her favor, or at least make sure she's ahead of the game. She's always thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. And that's kind of really thrilling to get to step into, because it's she's an intense chick.
Not just and let me just add, not just Michonne cosplay, but I think you'll see Michonne cosplay with the pets, like dragging the pets behind. What do you see?
Oh, I have a pet. Hey.
Oh. Yeah, you're not supposed to wave your arms. Kind of not.
Gotta cut off the arms, brother.
That guy is such a fan. He had his lower jaw removed. What do you think the role of the pets is? What do you see them as?
I think there's a lot of things. I mean, we'll get into that as we go through, getting to know Michonne. But I think, me, Danai, I think that is so masterful on her part, because she figures out that, firstly, zombies are the lesser living form, non-living living form, and she figures out how to use them to her advantage. She's smarter, so I'm going to use them to my advantage. I'm going to take off their jaws, and they can't bite me, take off their arms, and I'm going to make them my pack mules, and I'm going to make them pets I don't even have to pet or feed. So, she's just really smart, it's strategic. So from Danai's perspective, I'm like, that's just really smart, capitalize on them. You make use of them. They're not as smart as you.
David Morrissey?
Come see me after.
I'm warning you, don't want to say that, because that guy will totally take you up on that. She told me to meet her. Can we turn your backs? No, please. David Morrissey also is the governor is the other character that people were super excited to see. People, like a lot of things we heard on the show last season. Michonne, when are we going to get to prison? And when's the governor showing up? And you're that guy. So how has it been for you? Do you see the governor as an evil character?
It's an interesting time, isn't it? Depending on what you want it to be. I mean, I don't know whether anyone says that about themselves. You can say that about someone. So I've got to understand the guy. Robert wrote a fantastic book called The Rise of the Governor. That is my starting point for my governor. That's where he comes from. And then when you pick him up in the graphic novel, there's a lot of time between that, the Rise of the Governor story finishing, and that story beginning. And we examine the time in between, I think, in the TV series this season. So yeah, there's a lot of gaps in time between those two stories. So I'm right in the middle of that.
He's evil.
He's not going to come out and say it. No one knows. So what can you tell us, if anything, about the community that you're running?
He runs a community called Woodbury, and it's a great place. If you abide by the rules, then it's secure. It's a secure place in a very insecure world, and that's his big thing. If you want to be in my community, then you have to abide by my rules. If not, then you can get out there and take your chances, really. So he's